Russell Doerr, storekeeper, second class. They went back to Norfolk, Virginia to tweak all of the things that they found out that were wrong with the ship. And then from the, after it was got through repairs and everything, we went back up to New York City, back to the Brooklyn Navy Yard. And that's where they put all the guns on it and all the ammunition and all that kind of stuff. In fact, the ship was so tall, when you went underneath the Brooklyn Bridge, they had to take the top of the conning tower and lay it over on its side to get under the bridge. That was a sight to see too. When we were in April, and I remember the date specifically, April 26th of 1956, that's when we were back in New York City after the ship was commissioned. And typically on Friday night you had money. Here we are in New York City, so we head down to Manhattan, and boy, we're going to live it up, and which we did. My friends that were in my division with me, who is still my friend today, Wayne Rickert. And Wayne and I hung around from day one. We came in at Philadelphia on the same day, assigned to the Saratoga the same day, and so on. So we were back in New York City, and Friday night we went over, had a party. Saturday we still had a little bit of money and stayed and partied and ate good. Sunday we were broke. And typically, where do you go? To the USO, because there they would feed you and give you whatever they had to offer. And while we were eating, the lady came through and she says, "We've got tickets for a TV show." And I said, "Really?" I said, "What show is it?" And she says, "The Ed Sullivan Theater." And I said, "Really?" I said, "My mom and dad watched that every Sunday night, faithfully." And Wayne was my buddy, and I said, "You want to go?" He says, "Well, why not? We don't have anything better to do." So we go to the Ed Sullivan Theater in downtown Manhattan, third row, aisle seats, and here we are at the Ed Sullivan Theater, and all of a sudden he comes out, and how he always crossed his arms. He says, "Ladies and gentlemen, we got a special treat for you tonight." And they open the curtains up, and this guy comes out and says, "You ain't nothing but a hound dog, get crying all the time." And the dumbest thing I ever said to my buddy Wayne, I says, "This guy never gonna make it." That was his television debut, Ed Sullivan, of Elvis Presley, who Ed Sullivan hated. And he never wanted him photographed from the waist down. So anyway, that was memorable. And here he is. I seen Elvis 3 times over those years that he lived. And the first time it was Ed Sullivan. Second time he was still in pretty decent shape. And I saw him about 2 months before he died. He weighed 200 and some pounds, and he was a mess. I was sad to see him have to go through all of that. We went back down to Cuba and around the chain in the islands down there